Hey everybody, welcome back, and we are here for another episode of Travel Without a Cause here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana today. And it's a pretty special one for you guys, at least I think so. And today we're going to be visiting the resting place, the grave site for Mr. Percy Sledge, which is here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I didn't always know he was even buried here. I knew he was like residing here over the last few years, but I didn't know where he was buried or anything like that. So right here behind me at Heavenly Gates Cemetery, we're going to go take a look and honor him and pay respects to him and just talk to him for a minute, excuse me. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and definitely hit the like button for the video because that helps me out a lot and helps the channel out a lot if you're looking to help the channel at all. So let's go walk inside and talk to Mr. Sledge himself, and then we'll go from there. So like I said, welcome back. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, guys, and let's go take a look. So yeah, guys, so most of you probably know who Percy Sledge is, I'm sure, but for those of you who don't, I'll kind of give you a quick rundown. I'm not going to spend too much time going over every little detail. I mean, I'll be here forever, obviously, but yeah, Percy was dating back to the 50s, 1950s. You know, Percy was very heavily influenced by like Elvis, Hank Williams Sr., the old country and stuff like that, country and western music, kind of soul, blues, stuff like that, gospel. And so of course Percy was mostly known for what they call deep soul, and what he was famous for, like some of his more popular songs was Take Time to Know Her, which I think was 1968, I think, or something like that. And of course his huge hit was When a Man Loves a Woman, which Michael Bolton redid. Actually, it was I think it hit the charts. It was released hit the charts, I think 25 and a half years to the date after Percy's hit. Michael Bolton's version hit, and I thought it was pretty cool. So we're just walking towards his grave right now. I just want to do kind of a little bit more of a expanded intro. And of course I'm keeping my eyes out because if there's any family members here to see anybody else, I don't want to be loud and intrusive or anything like that. Like, I try to do these things out of respect. So I'll talk a little bit more about Percy when we get to his mausoleum plot here. And so let's go ahead and flip the camera around. Check this out. More frozen stuff in Louisiana. This whole place is nothing but a few mausoleum buildings. There's no in-ground graves or anything like that. It's all just above, or not above ground, but in mausoleums. And again, I'm not going to focus on anybody's specific names here or anything besides Percy's, but there's some very, very nice engravings, and I guess you call them engravings, on some of these, graves or tombs or whatever. Very, very nice. And very peaceful. But right over here, here's the gate along the main, or I guess the main road, but the road that it's along. If you walk through the gate right there, and there's the first building, then a walkway, and there's a second building, and then right over here is Mr. Percy Sledge and his wife Rosa, who's still alive, obviously, still lives here in Baton Rouge. November 25th, 1940 to April 14th, 2015. There he is. But yeah, he was he said he always wanted to be a baseball player growing up, and all of his friends and family and teachers and all that stuff at school, they always said he should be an entertainer or a singer. And so he picked up a guitar and stuff like that and started, he didn't pick up a guitar at that time, but he continued. I guess he started practicing more and started taking it more seriously, and then got signed on by Atlantic Records at one point, and then that's when he recorded his biggest hits through the basically through the 60s. And I think in the late 60s, I think around late 60s or early 70s, he signed with Capricorn Records, and continued singing, you know, through the 80s, 90s, and kept touring a lot through all those years. And then even released an album as recent as 2004, excuse me. And I said with his genre, the thing, his most focused genre of music was deep soul. And he actually, you know, came out of the Muscle Shoals era, or you know, Muscle Shoals itself, excuse me. And he was the first artist to hit big or make it big out of the Muscle Shoals, whatever you call it, empire era, all that stuff. He was the first one to hit it big from Muscle Shoals. So yeah, to kind of give you a little background on his upbringing and all that stuff, he's actually from Alabama. He's not from Louisiana. He's not from Baton Rouge or anything. He's from a town called Layton, Alabama, and where he grew up and all that. He actually worked like agricultural jobs. He was an orderly at a hospital in Sheffield, Alabama. And then basically through the 60s, he toured like the Southeast U.S. with the Esquires combo on weekends and all that. And so a former patient from, I guess, that he met when he was an orderly, introduced him to record producer Quinn Ivy. And following that, he got an audition and he was signed through Quinn Ivy, who was with Atlantic Records at the time. And so that's where he recorded When a Man Loves a Woman, like I was talking about earlier, Take Time to Know Her, all that. When a Man Loves a Woman was recorded in 1966. And he actually wrote that song when he was laid off from a job and his woman left him, and he ended up writing that song and it became a huge hit. And so it reached number one in the U.S. and went on to become an international hit. Basically, it was it hit twice in the UK, reaching number 4 in 1966, and reissued at peak number 2 in 1987. If you can, like, that's crazy to think about. Like, it got reissued and peaked again at number 2. It Tears Me Up, Take Time to Know Her. Take Time to Know Her was his second biggest U.S. hit. And a couple other songs. Let's see if I can remember. Warm and Tender Love. That was actually covered by a British singer, Elkie Brooks, in 1981. And Percy charted with, he made the charts again with I'll Be Your Everything and another song called Sunshine during the 1970s, and became an international concert favorite throughout the world, especially in Germany, for whatever reason that is. But he was a big hit out there. And also on the African continent too. He averaged about 100 concerts a year in apartheid era South Africa. So he must have been motivated by that. He must have had, you know, just a desire to be there at that point in time. But pretty interesting when I read about that. Later career, the 1980s, When a Man Loves a Woman, it kind of re-entered the charts again. Just from as a Levi's commercial that it was on, that was a big thing. And then just it was in other movies, soundtracks and stuff like that. And then of course in 1991, Michael Bolton's version hit number 1 on the charts, exactly, like I said, 25 and a half years to the week after Percy's did in 1966. 1994, Saul Davis and Barry Goldberg, who are producers, they produced Sledge's album Blue Night. He was with Virgin Records by that point. Featured some other artists on there too, some of which you may have heard of, Bobby Womack, Steve Cropper, Mike Taylor, and a whole bunch of others. It was accepted with pretty good acclaim, pretty high acclaim actually. Yeah, so in May 2007, he was inducted to the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame in his home city of Baton Rouge here, which I guess by that time he just kind of claimed this as his hometown, you know. You know, he's married twice. He's survived by his second wife, Rosa, who's seen here on the grave. So yeah, so April 14th, 2015, he died from liver cancer right here at his home in Baton Rouge. And you can come and visit him right here at Heavenly Gate Cemetery. Beautiful place too. But yeah, I didn't want to pass this up. I was in the area and I wanted to stop by. I've been wanting to come over here for a while now, and I was in the area today, so I figured I'd stop by and make the most of it and get to meet Mr. Sledge myself and introduce him to you guys and introduce you guys to him. Yeah, beautiful plot, beautiful story, and his life story and all that stuff. All around great guy. Everybody loved Percy. Like he, you know, lived, for the most part, lived a clean life and all that. You know, he wasn't known for living a crazy rock star or superstar life. He just pretty much made it all about the music for the most part, and made some great music on top of that. But yeah, won't stay too long over here. But we'll say goodbye and nice to meet you, Percy, and hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we love your music still great, still wonderful stuff. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and go ahead and wish everybody a wonderful night, wonderful week, wonderful weekend and all that. And we'll close this one out with some peaceful music, and see you next time, guys. Goodbye.